Hi guys, and welcome to All About the Philippines. Just quickly, if you enjoy this channel, be sure to subscribe to our friendly community and turn on the notification bell. Now, almost 2 years ago, my early days of YouTube, this channel was called Australia and Philippines Adventures. And at that time I did a video that was called How to Spot a Filipina Scammer. And in all honesty, the video is pretty ordinary to look at, but it did have some good information. And for a channel of my size, the video has done reasonably well with 9,000 views to date. And of course, as always, these sorts of videos seem to be rather popular amongst viewers. I've put a link in the description box below, so if you want to check out that video at any time, you can do so. Now, very recently we had a comment on that video from one of our subscribers by the name of Mr. Currypot, who gave his tips or red flags to watch out for that may indicate your Filipino girlfriend may be a scammer. And I thought his tips were very good, and as such I've made a follow-up video called How to Spot More Filipino Scammers, so stay tuned. Now, here's a tip for all you guys out there that are thinking of dating a Filipino or are already dating a Filipina. I recommend that you check out my free 14-part Dating a Filipina course. It's jam-packed with information, tips and resources to help you from pre-dating to dating and marrying a Filipina. I've put the link in the description box below. There is no denying that there are many love scams going on in the Philippines, and many young women who participate in these sorts of love scams in order to make money as a way of survival, or maybe simply because it's very lucrative. Think about this: a woman who decides to make love scams her way of earning her living may spend 16 hours a day or more on the computer looking for lonely and mostly older foreign men to have him fall in love with her, and so he'll send a few thousand pesos to her every month. Now let's just say 3,000 pesos, or around about $75 or so, give or take, depending if you're in Australia or the USA. For most men, it's not a lot of money, and really many men will see it as next to nothing on a monthly basis. And the average wage for a Filipina working in an average job in Manila may be around 12 to 16,000 pesos per month, where she may have to work 12-hour days, 7 days a week, and she'll be getting up early in the morning and doing the daily grind just to get to work on the bus, or 2 or 3 jeepney rides in that crazy Manila traffic, and getting home maybe 7 or 8 p.m. at night. It certainly is a grind. At some point, mostly when they're fairly youngish, in their late teens, they realise that by finding lonely, vulnerable, careless and even foolish men online, that they can make far more money per month by working out of their own home than they could ever do on a normal type of job in the city. And some girls in the province who may not have a good education and struggle to find some work, this can be their ticket to money they could only ever dream about. If these Filipinas can get just 5 men to fall in love with them online and get them to send maybe just 3,000 pesos each per month, then they are making a reasonable city type of wage. And for the girls that are really good at this, they could easily have 10 guys on the go at any one time, maybe each sending her 5, 6 or 7,000 pesos per month. So you do the math, and that's not including any gifts he may send her or extra money throughout the month. So I say the question shouldn't be why do these Filipinas do such scams, but more so, why wouldn't Filipinas do such scams? They live in a developing country with no government assistance when times are hard. It is a country with much poverty, and certainly can be a country where life is very difficult. For many of these girls, they'll see this as an opportunity that they must at least try, and many do succeed because men fail to see the obvious signs from the very start, or at least they may not know the signs to look for, and these girls are very good at finding the right foreign man to scam. And the question I have for you is that, are you the type of foreign man that is vulnerable to being taken by a beautiful young Filipina in a love scam? So here is Mr. Currypot's 6 tips or red flags on how to spot more Filipina scammers. And if you have any tips or red flags that we don't mention here, then feel free to put them in the comments below. The first sign to look out for is that the girl may live in the city but may travel once a month to visit her family in the province for a week or more at a time. She'll tell you that the cell phone signal there is no good, and as such, while she's in the province, she won't be able to contact you in any way or do any video calls until she comes back to the city. Now, some people sitting there watching this video might be thinking, well, that's okay, she should be allowed to go home and see her family, once a month, etc. But you have to remember, this is the Philippines, and we're not talking about downtown Los Angeles. It is highly unlikely a Filipina on a basic wage could afford to go home once a month or even once every 2 months, because she won't get paid while she's away from her work. Many Filipinas I know, including when my wife was working in Manila, she would visit the province every 2 or 3 months or so, but maybe only for 2 or 3 days. And usually she would have to save up prior to going, so she'd have to plan that trip and save all her money. So if your Filipina is going from the city to the province every month for a week at a time, then that is certainly a very big red flag that she may in fact have another boyfriend that she has gone to spend time with. This man may even be one of many foreigners that she is in a love scam with, and he may have came to the Philippines to see her, and so she goes off with him for that amount of time because she needs to keep him happy, so he keeps on sending her the money each month. The second sign to look out for is that she will sleep from 4 a.m. till midday Philippines time. This is prime time scamming hours, as many Western countries will be online during that time. It's a bit like catching fish in a net, and the unsuspecting foreign men are the big fish she's looking for. The third sign to look out for is that she may say she has a job that doesn't actually exist. So really, how would you know if she has this job she says she's got, or she doesn't have the job? After all, you're thousands of miles away, and she seems so sweet and genuine. In this type of situation, you can always ask her to send a selfie of herself from her work, where she most likely may be wearing some sort of uniform and possibly an ID tag. I remember when I met my wife and she was working in security in Manila. She would take her laptop to work with her, and I could often get time to have a chat with her in her breaks. And of course, I saw her uniform, her name tag, co-workers, parts of the office, so I was in no doubt that she had the job that she told me she did have. The fourth sign or red flag is that she'll always be saying that she has no load or she has a low battery on her phone. A Filipina who is into you genuinely will ensure that they have load, and she'll keep the battery charged because you are a priority to her. And a Filipina who's constantly saying that she has no load or her battery is low is telling you this so she can go and chat to other men to build up her income. The fifth sign or red flag is when you meet her in person and she will not introduce you to anyone she knows. You may ask to meet her parents, siblings, friends, and even co-workers, but she will make many excuses and tell you they are all busy, or she may try and distract you with a bit of horizontal folk dancing. You know what I mean? The sixth sign or red flag is something I've said many times in my videos and is very common among the seasoned Filipina love scam experts, and that is they will never actually come out and ask you for money, but they will drop many hints or possibly give you a heart-wrenching story of how a grandmother is very ill and desperately in need of an operation, or she may need to get medication, or she may even die. That's just one example, and you'll feel sorry for her and you'll offer up the money to help her out. Rest assured, the experienced love scammers are very good at doing that, and initially you'll think it's all been your own idea, but in reality it was her plan all along. Now, I know we said that we had 6 tips for you, but I am going to give you one bonus tip that Mr. Currypot has kindly offered up, and that is when a Filipina may approach you in a public place and introduce themselves. There are girls who are freelancers that target foreign men on the street to enter in a holiday romance. The two may hit it off, and the foreigner may take the Filipina with him for a week or two or even a month all over the Philippines, staying in great resorts and eating at some great restaurants. She won't even ask for money or any gifts, and he will look after her, and she will give him what he is really after. And if this foreigner starts a long distance relationship with the Filipina, it is very likely that around a month later that the red flags or the signs will start to appear, as we have discussed already in this video. So some really good tips there, and again thank you to Mr. Currypot for these tips. If you have any other tips or red flags that a Filipina is doing a love scam on you or somebody else, then be sure to put your comment below, which will add to a good source of information for our members to draw from. If you've enjoyed the video or found the video informative, then be sure to give it a big thumbs up, share the video with all your networks, and subscribe to our friendly community if you haven't already done so, and turn on the notification bell to get more videos. I appreciate all your support. Thanks very much for watching, and bye for now.